Hello. Oh, welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. It's Sarah Wednesday.
Hello.
Yay. Everything's always better when Sarah's around.
Doll.
So, Sarah's here. But I am here literally every single day of the year. I have been for almost 4 years to take your political questions out of the chat. So just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. We have epic troll slayers who keep us safe. And we have got a fantastic community here because of you. You have been so kind to each other. It's so kind to me. You've been so kind to Miss Sarah.
Yes, thank you.
So we are very grateful, very, very grateful. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. Miss Sarah's going to be time stamping them today, but they get time stamped, and you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on like 1.25 speed, which I do a lot on YouTube. So, dun dun! Boy, have we got some fun stuff today.
Oh,
and
y'all.
I think the top one, I don't think you're going to hear it many other places, but it is chef's kiss.
Yes. And shout out to Kristen at Uncover the News for throwing this one my way, because I saw it and I was like, whoa. Okay.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to preface this by saying I'm not laughing at anybody's struggles. It's not what I'm laughing at. I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of folks. So,
yes. Okay.
So at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, a far-right Christian family of 11. Now this falls under the when the grass isn't fabulous on the other side. Okay. A far-right Christian family of 11 decided to move to Russia.
Canadian.
They're Canadian. They wanted to move to Russia because they were tired of the LGBTQ plus agenda in Western countries and Canada and the US and whatnot. They wanted to go where the gay people weren't. I want to go where the gay people aren't. Where they to get close to Putin's, orthodox family values. Once there, things have not gone as they thought they would. I'm shocked. Their bank accounts were seized and frozen. And the officials, because see, what they did is they sold their farm and all their possessions in Canada and sent all the money ahead of time. And they'd been working with Russian officials who were going to help them get set up and get them a farm over there. And it's just going to be wonderful. And it's going to be fabulous. And they got there and all their money that they had sent ahead has been took. And those officials are nowhere to be found. And then wifey went on TV to talk about just how backwards the country was. And then that video got scrubbed really quick from their social media. At which point the man has apologized so as not to get yeeted out of a window for entertainment purposes only. So what's going to happen with this group? You had because we were looking for titles, I try to be witty, and you had a fabulous one. What was it again?
Oh, it was Canadian Clan's Not So Gay Russian Reality.
Yes.
Or also From Maple Taps to Bear Traps. Bears also referring to the LGBTQ aspect as well. So, yeah. Joyce Matthews, did they move or did they get taken before they moved?
No, they're there. They moved.
They're there.
They've got some freedom of movement. They've got a. If you follow the link for the article, their channel is in the article.
Yeah, but from what Sarah was telling me earlier, the wife was like, "I'm ready to get on a plane and go home. This isn't anything like what they said." Um, they don't have access to their passports, I believe.
Right. Yeah. So everything. Mm-hmm.
They can't leave. The guy made a video where he was saying, "Oh, it wasn't the Russian government. This was just a law against bank fraud. That's all this was."
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just because we got so many small donations from you guys. That was it, and we couldn't show where we'd gotten that money. Therefore, so it makes perfect sense. So I've gone down to talk to the bank again and again and again. And any talk that they had been, we'll get you a Russian or English translator, Russian translator. Nope. They did make, it looks like they did make one friend who speaks English. I don't know how much he's helping, because apparently this guy's had to go into the bank and talk to the woman there using
Google Translate. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, Joe Liza. So living in an autocratic country is not so good, eh? Yeah. And I'm just wondering, because they have a lot of kids at different ages, and I'm just wondering if any of them are going to end up in the Russian army.
Yeah, because they've got 9 kids. 8 of them are minors, but all 9 kids went with them. So that means at least one is of age. No, I don't know if it's male or female. I don't know if Russia cares. So
but if you can go to their channel now, and I think they had something in there about Russian, art class for their little tiny child in Russia. And so suddenly a lot of their videos have become very, isn't Russia great?
Uh-huh.
Yes, Valerie, I was just singing back in the USSR, LGBTQ. Back in the USSR, LGBTQ. That was awesome. Yeah, this is an insult to injury. No.
Who'd have thunk it?
I can't imagine. Oh dear. Oh dear. First of all, there's a chill that just went down my spine, and I don't usually get that. I'm really.
Uh-oh. This is not good.
No, they're trapped. But they were like, we won't stand for this liberal nonsense in the West.
Which is pretty much what the guy said on their interview. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're going to do something about it. And they've come up in the center. I've got the Russian actions against them to corral them. And now you are part of the system, buddy. And you will bow down, and you will do it with a smile. And suddenly Canada's looking better and better. Now, I'm wondering, did they say anything about wanting to change their nationality? Or were they able to just go, live there? Or are they having to become Russian citizens?
I'm thinking that they did all that work with the thing. They're looking at becoming Russian citizens. So
Valerie Sargent says Canada should go get them. They're a target now. That's a point. And Joe Eliza says, wonder how long it'll be before they beg like Biden or Trudeau or somebody to get them back. Yeah. So Raymond de Pascal, I'm afraid that sums it up perfectly. Suckers. So yeah, not going to be prosperous. you know now what you had, and you know now what autocracy looks like, and that's their future. The 4 and 5 of Pentacles. That's not happy. That's lack of. That's pinching pennies. That's Linda Johnson says Russians treating them as spies. Yes, yes, dear. Yeah, it's not good. Now, the next question would be, are there any others who are going to say, oh, gosh, that sounds great. I'm going to do that too. Is this going to be a thing? Especially with Tucker Carlson saying, look how great how clean this train station is that our minders brought us to in Moscow, where really just government employees come here, and there's chandeliers and there's no heating. And the grocery store the minders took me to is just full and lovely and inexpensive. Ratu says, oh boy, I'll wave goodbye. Deanna Bennett says Russia needs farmers. I believe it. I think the U.S. government is going to try to do more to say, are you sure? Like, we need to really sit you down and you need to watch these videos and trying. Some people thinking about it, and they'll just end up in a bad situation too. Card for the reading. Eight of Swords hemmed in. You do not want to go there. And this just feels like the governments of the U.S., Canada, or whatever going, look, really, we need to talk. We need to talk. If you decide to do this, it is not going to end well for you. They're going to have to talk to some people who are going to be like, see?
Well,
now, I will say that you and I had a discussion. Because Sarah loves 90s music. And that is so awesome. I like 90s music too, but Sarah knows who's connected to what through what and was recording and right. And it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. So one of the things that I was when I was oh, Michaela, thank you so much.
So sweet. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, this is going to be a little bit. It'll take me just a minute to explain this. Okay, I am 10 years older than Sarah. All right, and when I was a young teen, it was the early 80s, and I had the biggest crush on this British musician named Green Gartside. And over the, I knew he had started out in a punk band and squatting in London and, did that music scene and then decided to go more mainstream and ended up in the pop charts, at least briefly. Okay. But it is only in the last so many years that I have heard more of the story of when he was growing up in Wales, where, as a lot of teenagers can be, they can get very extreme in their political views. They're trying to find themselves, and if they find something that they're passionate about, they talk a lot about. And I knew that he had a falling out with his mother and stepfather, but I didn't find out until even the last few years that what had happened was when he was a teenager, he was so so bent on how good communism was, because it was the late 70s in Wales.
So it's
and he was
peak Thatcherism. Yeah.
peak Thatcherism. He was 17, 18, you know, and to the point where he was, I guess, fighting with his parents so much that his mother called, in whatever form, called the Russian government and said, look, if you want to live that way, go. And he said something like, well, I will. And his mother contacted the Russian government, but they wouldn't take him. I guess they were afraid of spies, or they were afraid of, or maybe it was just because he was just a young hothead. But they wouldn't take him. And so he went to London and he lived in a squat and he got involved in music and da-da-da-da. And by 82, 83, 84, he was, that whole part of that whole Duran Duran Spandau Ballet on the yachts, wearing the designer clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do grow out of it. Valerie says, I'm going to call Russia on you. Oh, no. She was trying to help him. No, she was saying, I'll call Russia. And he's like, good, do it. She wasn't, she was like,
she was calling him on his bluff. Yeah.
Yeah, she was calling him on his bluff, and also saying, yeah. So this thing of going to Russia, it just reminds me. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the first place. It never has been, but it's also a recipe for utter disaster. So, did anybody really need to hear that from me? No, but that's exactly what I thought of. But I thought you might find it interesting. So, yeah, Bratu, I'll help you fulfill your dream. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you didn't. It's a good thing you didn't.
Man, but, I had everything that I just knew that I wanted when I was 16, 17, 18. Good. Things I did not know. Whew.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Alrighty. Well.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, this is bad. I don't know that I need to tell any of you that here, considering our great blue audience here. This is a blue channel. But I'm just here to tell you, this is bad.
All I can think of is like Willie Nelson singing "Mamas, don't let your babies move off to Moscow." So,
babies, don't let your babies grow off
to Moscow.
Go live in Moscow. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is.
Just feel bad.
I'm getting like chills.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I don't. Boy, and it isn't just that they've been brainwashed. It is self-brainwash. It is, I've read all this stuff. This is what I think. I'd rather be Russian than liberal. And somebody may have gone out and said that on Fox or OAN or whatever it was. But then they were just like, yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, crap. We did it.
Yeah.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, no, Brad, too. They didn't just willingly drink the Kool-Aid. They mixed it. They stood at the table. Yeah.
Don't mix the Kool-Aid with vodka. Just
no, that's how you get trash can punch, kids. That's another 90s story. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Let's go to Trump land, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Buckle up, kids. Grab your antibacterial wipes. We're heading to Trump land.
where women willingly wear chastity belts because they don't want him anywhere near them.
That's right. At 1950.
They wear chastity belts, but they keep the key.
Oh yeah. I'm swallowing that mug. So, For every month that Trump doesn't pay the state of New York the fraud penalties levied against him, interest goes up 2.6 million. Letitia James is poised and ready to ask the court to seize Trump's properties to pay the debt at the value the state appraiser says that they're worth. Not Trump's appraiser. The state's appraiser. Will the state own Trump's property soon? Because he's in put up or shut up territory. And if he can't do one, she will shut him up by taking his stuff. So
well, the thing is,
they won't shut him up.
if the court accepts the appeal, though, doesn't that get delayed too? Because you can't take somebody's stuff.
But that's if he files it. Because remember, he has to have the money to file the appeal. So
okay. Hang on. Let me see what I can get. Okay.
Oh, what a tangled web.
State of New York. Can you imagine the Xanax that Trump would take that night?
Yeah.
Or that day? Yeah, the government coming to take your stuff. That's the card for the reading. Pretty accurate for what we're reading on. All right. Will it happen? Oh.
Your face. I love seeing my bestie happy, and the sheer glee that she's got going on here just makes my heart so happy.
All right. When the appeal is done, the emperor will be facing justice on a very human level. And he can try to wait, to the lawyer something. Nope. The card of shut your orange mouth.
Yes.
The emperor is going to face this. As soon as that appeal is turned down, or he can't afford to. Do we have a question about will he be able to afford?
We can add that here now. So
okay, let's do that then.
2255. Will Trump be able to afford to appeal?
Because they keep saying Trump is prepared to put this up, and Alina Habba's gone out there and said, I'm not going to talk about the inner, not machination, the inner workings but we're prepared to put that money up. I don't believe him.
Well, I mean, he either needs to be able to put it up or find somebody who will front him. Mm-hmm. And nobody's going to do it, especially considering the whole thing was he defrauded financial institutions. So why is a financial institution going to go, I'm going to back that pony today? Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Especially
it makes no sense.
Remind me, after this, I have an interesting little tidbit about Trump's fundraising in January.
Oh. We do like some minutes. Yes.
Will Dumpy have the money to put up so he can appeal the Ngoron ruling? Well, we've certainly enjoyed this story thus far. Could say that. Okay. Not easily. All right, not easily. You can't come up with this money as easily as you might think. Because if they're including the interest, we're over $450 million at this point. So all his talk of, I have $400 million in cash on hand.
That's
This is
still
even
ain't
more
enough.
than that. Yeah, it's not enough. And does anybody actually believe that? So he's feeling that's the institution. Yes. Yeah. And there's Trump, in the weed of crimes that are now bearing bitter fruit.
Yeah.
Right. So, victory. Yes, of course. I'm going to put that money up. Absolutely. Yes. Of course, because I'm going to appeal and it's going to be in nothing will. And then at the end, we have the death card, which is not literal. I don't think this is going to go so well for him.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So either he can't come up with the money or the appeal court is like, nah. What is it? What is the all the youngins use the expression, nah, fam.
Yep. Nah. Mm-mm. Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh. I can pay it. That's cap. Yes.
You have teenagers.
Yes. So cap is slang for that's a lie, that's false. That's BS or whatever you want to say it. So no cap. So yeah.
There's some big financial problems here.
Oh,
However, shock. Yeah. However, okay. You owe money, dude. His family they're going to make sure he isn't homeless. But
yeah, but there is a big difference between Mar-a-Lago and like the mother-in-law pool house at Tiffany's. Man, at Tiffany's crib. There's like a whole different.
Yeah.
That's
there's no omelet bar.
no. Bless. He'd be forced to open his own refrigerator. How would he cope?
Hang on, give me a second here. Secret Service. It just thought of what?
Sorry. Elizabeth Schuyler Hamilton. I'd love to hear an appeals court tell Stinky and his gang, sir, this is an Arby's or a Wendy's. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, it feels like there's more information here. Let me just double check.
Oh, Joe Eliza, I agree. I don't think Mar-a-Lago would be worth selling. No, I bet Marjorie Post haunts him. I hope she does. Like how he just let that place just devolve. Oh. Yeah.
We know he steals from Peter to pay Paul. That's how he rolls.
Mm-hmm.
But they're coming after him and they're going to ask him, where did you get the money? Now, he gets money from his suckers. The suckers give him money because he's the star. But it's all based on flim flam.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is going to go so well for him. Oh dear. I'm getting a mental, I'm trying to picture, I should say, that if he ended up in some small little house somewhere and what it would be like to, when everything's been taken away from, all of his ill-gotten gains have been taken away from him, to, you live in a middle-class neighborhood, lower middle-class neighborhood. The guy moves in down the street. Okay, it's a guy. And there's Secret Service everywhere. Like, what?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's it going to be like to have Secret Service and guys talking into their sleeves when he can't afford? Yeah.
But, and I had this mental image this morning of, now I know realistically, you're good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So realistically, I know that if the property is seized, it goes to the state, it's liquidated and it's sold and all that good stuff. I had this mental image of like Letitia James just sort of doing a walkthrough on the upper floors and then the gold monstrosity and just be like, I'll take this office. And that would, I mean, if she turned his penthouse into an office, that would be like it wouldn't happen. They have a government building, but that would just make me just go, nee. So, all right. Like tells me though, what you were just saying, that man is incapable of living small. Like he would, if he had to move into Warren Buffett's house, he would die. Because Warren Buffett lives in like a little 3-bedroom house that he bought in the 50s, a little bitty house. So, I mean, a 2-bedroom house or 2 or 3. Anyway, and Buffett has more money than Trump would ever. Yeah. So, all right. So,
I have something to share here.
Oh, please do.
I threw it in the show notes, but we're slowly transitioning to a Notion page with show notes, very slowly. It's we juggle a lot over here. Okay, on the Daily Beast. Let me send that to you. Seeing Red is the name of this one. Donald Trump's cash crunch got much, much worse. Okay, this is on the Daily Beast. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
On Tuesday, yesterday. Okay, this article is from today. Okay. No. Yes. No, yesterday, on Tuesday. So on the 20th. On Tuesday, Trump's Save America Leadership Political Action Committee, which is that is the one. Is that the one that is supposed to be paying his legal bills?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just give you these numbers. On Tuesday, Trump's Save America Leadership Political Action Committee reported raising from donors for the entire month of January, raised $8,508 while spending $3.9 million.
The math ain't happening, bruh.
Yeah. $8,500, $3.9 million. According to the new filing with the Federal Election Commission, nearly $3 million of that overall spending total was used for one purpose: to pay lawyers. At the same time, the Trump campaign itself reported a net loss of more than $2.6 million for the month of January.
Oh, so help me.
It raised about $8.8 million while spending around $11.5 million. Trump continues to burn through his donors' funds as he struggles to feed two massive cash drains, astronomical legal bills stemming from numerous civil cases and 4 criminal indictments, plus the cost of a national presidential campaign. Now, shall we add a little insult to injury?
I mean, yeah.
After the Trump filings were released on Tuesday evening, his sole primary challenger, Nikki Haley, reported that last month her campaign had received $11.5 million. It's the first ever fundraising period where Haley's campaign outraised Trump. So,
wow.
And then I will add in this little bit here. However, despite reporting almost no donations in January, the Save America PAC, a group Trump launched just after the 2020 election, ostensibly to fund legal challenges, actually increased its bottom line by more than $1 million, ending the month with nearly $6.3 million on hand. Okay, that's a lot. However, the increase could be chalked up to new donations, can't be chalked up to new donations. It is entirely due to a $5 million transfer from a different pro-Trump super PAC, which is still in the process of refunding $60 million that the former president demanded back last year. The super PAC has been kicking that refund back in $5 million installments beginning late last spring, but the full refund will be complete by June.
So he's been subsisting on this refund that he's demanded for the last however long months.
There's a lot more in this article, by the way.
I've got it in the I've got everything in there. So how is this going to affect things moving forward? This fundraising trend that we're seeing. How is this gonna?
And he's out there hawking baked foil potato shoes.
Flash gorditas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That aren't his.
Mm-mm.
He's doing it for another company.
Mm-hmm.
Trump businesses are losing money. Business occupancy in buildings in big cities is way down since the pandemic.
Anna, that article link is in the chat. It's been updated. If you look at the 31-minute timestamp, it's at the end of that question. And visualize 17 when those refunds run out, that's just that much less of a tax infusion he's going to have, or a cash infusion he's going to have on his main pack. So,
let me get some clarification because, basically he's going to struggle along for a while. I know it's going to be a shock. You're going to be shocked. Okay, he's in bad financial straits. This is the money courier. Moving money back and forth and back and forth. In the center of the reading, lies, illusions. Card after that is secrets. And Trump's action. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Robbing Paul to pay Peter. Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Lather, rinse, repeat. Yes.
Lather, rinse, repeat. He's going to, and we will also see him out hawking more stuff. To try to keep the plates spinning, but they're starting to crash. And so I asked for more clarification, and we can see what we can see. We can, and he's a thief. I don't have to say entertainment only. No. Judges
have declared him such.
Declared this. And people will still say, yes, absolutely. But it isn't even just a house of cards. It's like a house of cards made out of
tissue paper,
typing paper, and lighter fluid. So,
yeah, we're going to move this next question up because it fits right in with the jaundiced Ron Popeil we've got going on here.
Yes, except one thing I have to mention out of the chat. David Meinert said Germany should sue him for abusing the term cologne. That was good.
That is hysterical. Okay, so at 39:45, Julia asks, I have a question about the golden sneakers. I've heard that they are taking orders but won't be available until later this year. My question is, will people pay for sneakers that they never receive? Well, here's the thing. He's basically a glorified drop shipper at this point. He's not even doing the drop shipping. So he's getting all these orders, and then on the website, it specifically says, we, Trump, are not responsible if you don't get your stuff. We are not responsible if it doesn't look like the picture. I mean, they could send these folks camo flip-flops. And as far as the legal the thing is done, then they have fulfilled, like somebody took a Sharpie and just wrote a T on it. I mean, they have fulfilled the thing, because it says, you don't get what it says. If it doesn't look like the picture, that's on you, buddy. You gave us the money. Hate it for you. And you're not going to get a refund if it's late. We don't know when you're going to get it. It's going to be at least the summer.
Debbie's pointing out, no, it's already there are no refunds. It says there are no refunds.
Yeah. It just says no refunds. Hate it. That's it. So, I mean, yeah. So will people pay for things that they don't receive? Probably. I would assume. What do the cards say?
Well, there are people selling these future shoes on eBay. They added zero to the end of the price, and they're selling these future shoes on eBay as collector's items.
That's going to get them in trouble, because if you're doing eBay, you don't have that I'm not held responsible stuff. You have to sell what the picture says. So those resellers, that's going to bite them in the butt.
Buy responsibly. Buy responsibly.
Yeah.
Buy from someone you can have even a modicum of trust in. In the center, 10 of Swords. And this will come to an end, and it will all come to light.
Ruh-roh.
So will these people even get shoes?
Like I said, I mean,
any shoes.
Any shoes. Are we looking at cheap flip-flops with a T in gold with gold Sharpie on them? I mean,
yes.
Okay.
Okay. It's the company itself that is actually doing this. It's the same company who set up Trump's NFTs. They're doing the work. And Trump's he's bringing in the orders, or he's advertising, but he's a little bit superfluous to the.
Yeah.
And this feels like you'll kind of get your stuff, but there's a real adding insult to injury quality here. I think both for the people who are buying this, the price of them, which is ridiculous, and Trump feeling used.
Oh, bless.
Because he should be able to do whatever he wants whenever he wants to. Who was it in court? Was it Letitia James and Ngoron? Was it in Ngoron's ruling, or were they talking in future about Chutkin in the January 6th case? One of them, they were saying that Donald Trump cannot be trusted and cannot be trusted to pay whatever. And they literally, it was just this list of Trump Steaks was shut down at this point. Trump Water was shut down here. This casino was shut down here. He declared bankruptcy. This company, Trump Steak, declared, was shut down. This company declared bankruptcy. Trump, whatever, declared bankruptcy in this year. Trump declared bankruptcy in this year. Trump was shut down. Trump, and it was like phones. Did he have a phone? It was like steak and water and phones and I mean all of this stuff. And it was just this list of failures. Oh,
Never buy steak from a man who eats it well done with ketchup.
Oh.
Yeah. Roxana says it's like buying air without the Jordans.
That was good.
That is a good one. That's very good.
That was good.
Yeah, this jaundiced Orangina Ron Popeil wannabe who's just gonna like tell everybody about all these products and they're gonna be like on the as seen on TV stuff. This is what we're looking for. The only thing I might buy is if he brings back the Rotato. I'll spray paint it and change the color so it's not branded, but they don't make the Rotatos anymore. And the Rotato was a thing in the mid to late 90s. You put a potato and you cranked it and it peeled it and made curly fries. Ooh. Yes.
So it didn't just peel the potato, it made curly fries.
Yes, it peeled it and you could keep going and make the curly fries. It was so good. So, but mine broke after much use and they don't make them anymore. So that would be the only thing that I would be tempted to buy is if for some reason they brought that back. But even then I would paint it.
I don't think you need to worry.
Okay.
But we should find you one. We should find you one.
We should. They haven't been on the market in like 20 years, but there's always hope. So.
Oh, Louise C says, I have one of those. You can get one. Look online.
There's only one thing I take more serious than office supplies, and those are kitchen gadgets, Louise. I love you. Okay. Whew. All right. Sorry, y'all. Legitimate tears because I love that dang thing. Okay. So 4650. Bernadette was asking, why was Jack Smith's case taken off the DC docket? Is this a good or bad sign? And CC Ryder also talked about in chat, that she's of the opinion that Chutkin is waiting to hear back from SCOTUS. So is that are the cards in agreement that everything is copacetic and we're just sort of playing the waiting game?
You know that penetrative stare that Jack Smith gets?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's just standing there, but he's just looking at someone or even nothing, and you're just like, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right?
I didn't do anything. I'm getting that a mental image of that stare, and he's looking at Trump. I wouldn't even go so far as to say it's like disgust or hatred, or it's that look. We've all seen, I think most of us have seen that look.
Oh yeah.
Of like you need to be erased from civilization.
Yeah, like the lasers are just going to shoot out and you're like going to be a pile of ashes on the ground. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. The case situation it's topsy-turvy with the that's the situation. Although behind it is a temperance card, so yeah, we'll be okay. Yeah, he's just waiting. Now, what it feels like is the other side. Drama kings. Trump and his ilk, they're drama kings. You've heard of drama queens? Drama kings. Howling at the moon, I should get total immunity. I should be able to walk away to raise money and all of this. And there's this going on over here. And Jack Smith's just over here. And the ship is rising and falling in a way that might make you a little nauseous. And he's just staring.
Doing his thing, yeah.
He's just waiting, and they're running in circles, and when in danger or in doubt, run in circles, scream and shout, and that's them. Drama. Just steady. And if you're wondering what he's thinking, that that would be, you need to be taken out of civilization to be, not to be unalive, but no, Jack Smith would never do that. Mm-mm. But you are a danger to civilization itself.
Yes.
You need to be removed and put in prison.
Yes.
Focused.
I hear there's a new farm in Russia that might need some farmhands. Cheap labor, maybe.
And the guy sounds really Canadian, which is adorable. Until you realize what a jerk he is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but he starts talking, and it's like, oh my gosh, that is such a Canadian accent. And it's so charming until I realized what a jerk you are.
Okay. Speaking of that, dude, we've kind of come full circle at 50-50. DP wants to know, what does Putin have on Trump? I know you won't be able to say specifically, but what I mean, is what he has on him enough? Yeah. What type of things or not? Well, I'm trying to see what you can actually get, because it's not a.
Was it widely known that Tucker Carlson had applied and been rejected from, was it the CIA, FBI, something?
I remember reading about this a couple days ago, and it's hysterical. I did not know it beforehand.
I'd never heard this. I had never heard this, and I'm just wondering if Putin said that not only to humiliate Tucker, this sycophant, but also to point out that I know everything.
Oh yeah,
because I had not heard that. CIA believes this, Darren. Yeah. Blue says I didn't know that either. Yeah, and we are. Most of the people here, we're news junkies, so we tend to hear, even if we don't remember things exactly, it's like, I remember something. So what am I reading on again? I'm sorry.
The type of information that Putin has on Trump, the brevity of it, basically.
Okay. El Unico Uno, Thrifter Treasures. Oh, thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. So, money. Money's, it's nasty transactions. What Trump was willing to do to get Trump Tower Moscow, other various nastiness. And he can play Trump like a fiddle.
Oh yeah.
Like a fiddle. Knows exactly when to put, it's like a sheepdog, where it's like, okay, I'll go over here and I will get him moving this way through promises of money, with maybe a little thing thrown in. If it gets too far afield, well, something thrown in about maybe some transactions over the years, some condos he sold, and then when it goes back over here, then they'll bring up Biden and the Democrats and Obama. Okay, and just puts him exactly where Putin wants.
Yep.
What does Putin have on Trump? About 50 IQ points.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. That's the reason why Putin is scary, because he's very smart. He's scary smart.
He's a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. He is. He got where he is, and I'm glad he's losing a step, but
yeah. Well, at 54-40.
Luisi QVC has the Starfrit Rotato Express for $27.15. Sam's also has it.
Rotato Express. Okay, I love y'all. You have made my heart so happy today. Okay, at 55 even. E. Jean Carroll's lawyer publicly stated that they are seriously considering taking Trump to court again. Although it looks like they're waiting for him to stick his foot in his mouth one more time before filing. Basically, everything is they've got all the paperwork drawn up. They're just waiting for him to just, quote, so we're watching, we're listening. We had really hoped that, as the jury found, that $83 million would maybe be enough to convince him to keep E. Jean Carroll's name out of his mouth. Apparently, he showed us this weekend that he really can't control himself, and that maybe it wasn't, but we will see what happens as this continues to play out. Will he do it? Is he going to mess up again? Will he let
John
his mouth write yet another check that his butt cannot cash?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, good.
John France said defamation in 4, 3, 2. Yeah, I've said for a while that E. Jean Carroll will basically take a conveyor belt and attach it to his account, to her account. Just
yes,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So dumpy, gonna run your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I getting a very strong mental image of a 1 in front of what he's already paid?
Is it like 183 million or like 1 million? Or
like 100 and some million? Bruh.
No cap. What you got? Oh.
Yeah, she'll go back to the institution. It doesn't matter, and he has no money. He has no money, but and then he'd have to fork this over in a big, showy, all over. So for what is it, I've got her going back to the institution and there's a huge sum. There's that. For what it's worth, here's the magician, because he keeps standing up and he's up there in front of his supporters at his rallies, and he starts being full of himself, and he starts kvetching, and he's all upset, and his minders are there, and they're saying ixnay on the EJ Errol K.
Errol K.
And so stop.
Job 13:5. Shut your mouth and let that be your wisdom. Stop talking.
Yes, shush. We have a plan. Don't blow it. But those cards are, yeah.
Well, it is Wednesday, and I think we are just about done for today.
Okay.
So, did you want to do one more, or?
Yeah, sure. If there's one more.
Okay, we've got one more Trump question. We'll just go ahead and throw that in there.
Okay.
At 58:55, Carroll asks, maybe we should look at, now that Trump keeps mounting up legal bills more and more for every month, it's always something. Will his political donors finally hit a point where enough's enough and stop paying?
Sounds like it's already starting. Electra Storm was asking a quick question before you go. What date did you say? Oh, it went past. Hang on. What? Oh, wrong mouse. I was trying to switch to a new mouse, hoping it would work better, but.
What day did you do your taxes again?
Yeah.
What date did you say to do the taxes?
Okay, yeah. What day did you say to do your tax again? I don't want to hurt my money. All I was saying was Mercury goes retrograde in April. So it would be and is it actually hang on. I'll get to that question just a second on the donors. But yeah, on what I have on my calendar, I mean, I've shown everybody how I put washi tape on important dates, or if things have already gone by and what have you. And, different dates in March. But April, I had something there I didn't want to cover up, but that's Mercury retrograde in April.
Ew.
So
that's gross.
Yeah, I would recommend, just because you can get miscommunications, or things can get backed up, or there can be glitches. I would recommend, if at all possible, file your taxes in March.
Oh yeah.
That would be what I was talking about then. Now, if you can't, it'll turn out, it's not the end of the world, but sooner is better than later if you have a choice.
Yes.
Okay. So sorry. It was about, will Trump's donors finally say, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are they just going to be done?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the analysis. Trump analysis of human liquids. I remember, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could do.
Yeah, that was one of his businesses.
I'm so shocked.
All right. First of all, we know he has all these legal, all this legal stuff.
Right.
As far as Dumpy's donations, there's not a single pentacle card here. Here's, as was pointed out very importantly in the chat from SW, in the meantime, Biden received $43 million in small donations in January. Biden now has $140 million in his campaign fund.
That sounds like a better war chest to me.
Yeah, lots of money right there for Democrats. This is all kind of legal worry. This is a huge burden from his own right-wing garbage, but this is a huge burden. The clock is ticking. He has things coming due, things that have to be repaid, and he's very much on the defensive. There's not a single pentacle card here. So anyway, but he's going to keep doing this dance. So you're going to hear in the media, excuse me, you're going to hear in the media, he has billions and he's going to do this and he's, Oh, and for the record, before we go, there was this talk about Trump media merging and the SPAC thing, and Trump is going to make billions, and you'd think, okay, well, with an IPO, when a stock goes public, initial public offering, IPO, that usually the stock price will shoot up, and that's when a lot of people will sell,
right?
And then it tanks, like in the first day, maybe two,
right?
Just shoots up, people sell.
First 48 to 72 hours are crazy with an IPO, yeah,
right. Then it tanks, so you definitely want to be out well before it goes into the negative. And so you think, okay, well, that's where he'd make his money. No. He has to hold on to that stock for 6 months. He has to hold on to that money for 6 months. How well do you think Truth Social is going to be doing
In 6 months?
in 6 months plus whatever time it takes in between now and the IPO? Then 6 months after that, how well do you think Truth Social is going to be going? Considering it is lost, I'm sorry, how many millions? So all this talk about Trump's going to be a billionaire. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. And Cece Ryder was talking about Trump fraudsters will set up GoFundMe accounts when he's in jail. It will never end. Oh, it'll end, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have it here. I just want to see. It's because apparently it is not against the GoFundMe rules. So the GoFundMe for Trump, and we'll end with this. The GoFundMe for Trump is. Electa Storm's asking about where'd you get your mug?
Oh, sorry. My daughter got it for me Christmas before last. It had a little reindeer in it. So, with some candy. But yeah, it's huge and so nice.
Well, this GoFundMe to pay for the judgment, or it couldn't directly, but pay him, and he could pay for anyway. It's up, in assuming they don't keep the money for themselves. It's up to $876,000, which is a lot until you realize, well, gosh, they only need 354 million more. And yeah, so. If he ever sees this money, I guess it would help, but yeah.
Really
All right.
happy.
That's going to do it for us for today. But it's always glorious when you're here.
Thank
Sarah
you.
Wednesdays is just the best. And thank you for making in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
No, not at all. Go ahead.
And in the chat, thank you. Thank you so much. And people watching later, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. So, all right, it is 1:25 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, Miss Sarah will be starting Creative Sprints. I will be along as soon as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. And we'll keep on keeping on. We're going to make it through. We'll go through the news together because that's what we do. Because otherwise it can get kind of fraught to go through it by yourself.
A little bit.
Yeah. All right. Take care. You're not alone.
Mm-mm.
We are in this together. Boop, boop. And there are good days ahead.
Yes.
All right. And boop, boop to you too. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.